Hello and welcome to Brighid's garden again. I'm out in the polytunnel. It's middle of February and I'm getting started with planting some seeds, sowing some seeds. I've already sowed some, but just wanted to let you know that now is a good time to get some seeds in into your little trays, seed trays, whatever. Get them started off under cover. If you haven't got a polytunnel, a cold frame will do for these kinds of plants. And what you can do is you can get them started under a little bit of cover, and then when the weather warms up in March, April time, they'll be big enough to go out into the garden, into the ground. So you've got a little bit of a head start with your garden, which is great, isn't it? Because then food comes quicker and we can make more space for more things later in the season. So I'll just give you a little look at what I've planted so far and what I'm going to do today. You can't really see what I've got in there under these things. Nothing's coming up yet, but I planted these last week, and I've planted some leeks, and we've got onions, and what else have we got? Spring onions, and we've got some turnips somewhere. I just wanted to show you that you don't need to buy expensive seed trays. I mean, these are ones that I've had for a while, but you can improvise. I mean, look at these are like fruit punnets, and I've planted my leeks in there, and I've just put a little lid on the top just to give it a little bit of extra warmth, and hopefully they'll start sprouting. And then today I'm doing my leaves. I've got a biodynamic calendar this year. I'm not going all in with the biodynamics, but I'm going to see if planting the seeds at the right time according to the biodynamic calendar does actually make any difference. So it was roots the other day when I was planting my onions and leeks and turnips and beetroot. Today it's leaf. So I'm doing spinach and lettuce and chard and mache and things like that. So just wanted to show you, if you can see, I've put 3 seeds in each tray, and that means that I can plant them out in little clusters. There's not too many in there, and I also don't need to prick them out. If I just put loads of seeds in the seed tray and had to prick them out, that just takes a little bit more time. So if we can save some time, that's all good, isn't it? So I've done 3 per tray, and then I'll just cover them up with a little bit of extra compost, and they'll be ready to go. And then I'll do my my other greens as well. Okay, I've planted some greens in the seed trays there, and some more there. And I've done partly because I'm running out of compost, and partly because I'm running out of seed trays, I've done the lettuces in this little pot, and I've done a little row, 3 different varieties, and I'll cover them over, and when they get big enough I'll prick them out into little pots or seed trays that I have vacated. And then this one is some rocket that I have just spread all over, and I'm going to take that inside and put it on the windowsill for little microgreens. And in this pot I've put some basil, so I'll take that inside and put it on the windowsill as well. So I just used compost straight from the bag to put in the pots, and then I'm going to use my sieve to sieve some compost over the top, just so it has a little fine layer. And I mentioned earlier, oh, the wind's getting up again. I mentioned earlier that you can use these little pots like this, and mentioned about having them in the polytunnel or in a cold frame. Now, if you haven't got either of those things, you could actually improvise with something like this. Tape it, so water it, tape it together so it doesn't fall apart, and put it somewhere as sheltered as you can in the garden, and then it will start to grow when it's ready. Just gives it a little bit of extra protection than it being in the ground. So that can work. It will take a little bit longer than if it's in the polytunnel or in a cold frame, but it's worth giving it a go and getting off to an early start. So I hope that's given you some ideas of things that you can get going with now. Just put in your polytunnel or your greenhouse, and you don't need grow lights or anything to get them going. Let me know if you've got anything started or any other ideas for things that you are planting at this time of year. And I'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.